post this link on the community so that if you ever want to go back to hear what we talked about, it'll be right there.
Okay. Okay.
So did everyone read the doohickey?
In the process of
Part of it.
The case, the doohickey case, whatever. The first question says, what are the issues and problems that you can identify in this doohickey case, and what have you learned from these lessons? So what are some issues from the case?
We have compensation. Well, not compensation, but like benefits. Kind of an issue. They only pay for 25% of,
Yeah.
and they don't even do 401 matching, which the 401k matching, which is kind of a bummer. Or pensions or stock participation.
Let me see. Let me. What other issues?
Okay, so we're talking about issues with the doohickey case. I think one of them is with the job promotions. They aren't, it basically sounds like the CEO doesn't even know everybody who works with him. I think they need to do kind of like with the prep learning today, how we were talking about learning how to give feedback to people and just basically just talking to people about things. I think the CEO to do something like that and at least know the skills of the people below him, because he's just promoting friends and they might not be who's best for the job.
I noticed in the the second paragraph where the CEO is talking for 30 minutes about the poor labor that's going on these days. I mean, it starts off on a negative note already, so there's no motivation whatsoever to start with. And then he literally closes with saying that's why we hired our new HR manager and it's her problem rather than mine. So basically just pawn off the issue instead of being there together and, you know, come up with a solution together. Yes, I'm an HR person, but I need a teamwork, you know, not just me who's doing all the work. And he's a CEO. He should be right along next to me, shoulder to shoulder. That's how I feel.
No, that's really true, because as soon as you were hired, then all of a sudden people started coming to you as like, oh, I'm so glad that we now have an HR person. I'm going to give you all my problems.
Yep.
You never received any training either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing, which is really tough.
I mean, she did a self-guided tour. I think she hasn't figured out where the bathroom is at this point. So.
And there's a lot more to HR than I thought.
Yep.
Because when I was reading this, I thought of HR just kind of basically keeping track of those employees, but it's more than that, because you have to figure out the compensation, the benefits,
Yep.
There's a lot more for one person. That's insane. So like what you were saying, Sybil, that you need to have a team.
So I went for an interview at one of the companies over here. It's a medical health company. And she stated herself that within HR itself, there's about 9 components that come with it. So you actually have within HR, you have an HR team individually who works on, let's say one person just works on compensation. The other one just works on benefits. The other person works on recruitment. So it's a teamwork effort, but yes, there is more to it than I really thought, because I thought, oh, I could do this all on my own, be that one HR person. Instead, never. You will never get hired to be just that one person, you know, who will load everything on you. So I was like, oh, that's good to know, because there is some other areas that you can work with, you know. I'm trying to find my notes, but somewhere over here.
Here, let me bring up the next question. Okay. So, choose 3 issues and write a paragraph, each of those problems in detail. Well, we kind of talked about, I mean, I have a list
There's
here
so
of the
many
issues.
problems here.
So what 3 issues do we really want to talk about that we want to write in? So the main issue of,
I would talk about compensation. That would be one.
let's spell that right.
There's a discussion in here about safety, and then there's also a discussion about diversity. How, like everyone in the upper offices are all like white males, and then the rest, like there's nobody else in the.
Or they refuse to hire females who can't lift more than
Yeah.
25 pounds.
So then compensation, safety, and diversity then?
Yeah. All right.
Adam, I don't want to make fun of you, but I only see half of your face. Can you move over? There you go.
That's my fault. That's my fault. I'm like looking at my computer, and then I'm like.
Here's all of Adam, not just
Nice to meet you, all of Adam.
okay. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry, Adam.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
talking because I.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. So let's see. We need to write a paragraph about each of those issues.
And we posting them on the Google discussion board on our group or on the main?
I wonder if
And are these due?
we'll send it to me because I'm the team leader this week.
So I'll send it to you. Okay.
Yeah. So send a paragraph about those 3 issues that we just discussed about.
Okay.
And
Send
those
it
are
to me.
due at the end of, or during week 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do at the end of weeks 5, 8, 11, and
Okay.
14, but this is our
Okay.
first one. So just
So
do
do
it in
5.
5. Yes.
Okay, got it. I just want to
Oh.
make sure.
So not the end of next week, but by the next week. But as soon as
Yeah.
we get those paragraphs, the better.
Yes.
And
do
do
it.
you want us
Do it fast.
Do you want us to email it to you, Maddie, or do you want it just on the as a chat on the group discussion, or how do you want it?
I would rather have it emailed to me.
Okay,
You think that's okay if we do that?
that's fine.
Okay.
So
So
we each don't have to write a paragraph. It's collectively we have one
collectively,
paragraph.
Well, it's 3
So-
paragraphs. And
Yeah.
then we just need as a group to have those 3 paragraphs put together. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
all right. Okay.
So there's more to it. We not only have to write a paragraph about the problem, but we need to write a paragraph about solutions. So we can assign tasks to
Right.
everyone. So
Okay.
one person will write a paragraph, the other person will write a solution to it or something like that.
Okay.
So let me create a list. Let me just create a sticky note. Is we need one person to talk about the issue of compensation, right?
Yeah.
And
Compensation,
then the issue of
safety,
safety. And then someone to talk about the issue of
diversity.
diversity. And then the third thing that we need to do is for each of those 3 problems that we've identified, brainstorm at least 4 possible solutions and write a paragraph describing each of your 12 solutions.
So there's a paragraph per solution.
So a paragraph per solution.
Okay.
Here. This is going to be really fun. Okay.
Yeah, for real.
Paragraph per 12 solutions. Okay. We have a lot to divvy out.
Wait, so each of your 12 solutions, write a paragraph.
Is that, I was going to say, is that a paragraph per solution or is it a paragraph describing the 12 solutions?
A paragraph
for
for
12.
each of the 12 solutions.
So it's just one.
Okay.
Yeah, one paragraph for each of the 12
Okay.
solutions. All right. So let's brainstorm the solutions for each one. So how could we solve compensation?
Well, they could establish a 401k plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a plus. Yes.
Okay. What else could they do?
Let's see.
They had arguments about the boss telling people to kind of suck it up or whatever about their pay, telling them that it was good pay, but apparently it's not good enough. The workers don't think it's good enough to take care of them for the kind of work that they're doing. So maybe,
Make it look into the pay. Yeah.
yeah, maybe have the boss kind of go through some kind of a training program to where he can get in their shoes
Hmm.
and broaden his perspective a little bit.
They
But
could.
maybe also,
I'm sorry.
no, you're okay. I was just saying, like, the McDonald's example kind of popped in my head where people wanted to get paid $15 an hour for flipping burgers. So maybe, so maybe this getting in other people's shoes needs to get put on the workers' side as well. Maybe they need to actually go through the spreadsheets and the numbers and say, hey, this is what you should actually be getting paid for this kind of work, but don't overdo it to where it's unrealistic.
They could also go in and interview different healthcare providers to see if they could find a better healthcare plan where they could do a higher match. If they had a better healthcare provider, they might be able to find a better match for their company to be able to provide a higher than 25%, where the company's still paying the same price, but the employee's getting a better benefit.
Right.
That's a great.
I don't know if that's a solution. I mean,
Well, it is a solution because if you have a better healthcare plan, I would say, because if you have a better healthcare plan and it helps the employee, maybe if it's a little bit cheaper, then you can accumulate or you can put a portion of it towards maybe compensation than all in benefits. So yes, I would say it's a solution.
Definitely.
yeah, same with their 401k. I mean, only because that's part of what my husband does. He matches up company benefit packages.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And so he bids that out, and that's also something that they do with 401k plans. They bid out different 401k plans with pensions and matching and things like that. So they could go to somebody to see, here's our budget.
Right.
What's the best package we can offer for our employees with our budget?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
One sec, guys.
That's right. Another solution that we kind of talked about is maybe if they had a bigger team, like that they could divvy out these things with compensation, not just having one person in charge of it all, but
Getting a specialist on it, maybe.
so we have 4 for compensation. Now we need 4 ideas to solve the problem with safety.
It doesn't sound like they have a plan of safety. So I worked for UPS and I was in the warehouse, and there was like specific things that you had to do to ensure that you were going to be safe in the warehouse and when you were like delivering packages and stuff. So that's something that I think they could really use within the company, is like establish a plan of safety for each of the employees, so that one, you as a company don't get sued, but more importantly, that the employees themselves are safe.
Also, probably make them aware that if you reported that it's not a account against you or against the company. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just a preventive option.
Yeah.
That if anything happens on the road, oh, you did report it. Okay, so let's go. What's happening now? So, yes. Have a safety team member.
I was
Maybe
gonna say, are they
team.
following OSHA guidelines?
it looks like they're not because the board says 679 days since the last safety incident, but the HR rep noticed that somebody got a cut on the finger and she didn't report it, and that was a couple of hours before that. So it's not jiving with it. So maybe a safety team member or a safety team have somebody picked and or selected, or they voted in, or however they want to do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if we want to put this under one of the things we've already talked about, but they said they have like a chalkboard that says how many days they've gone without
Yeah.
an injury. So they're not keeping track of that either.
Yes.
It's not priority, basically, right?
I wonder if they're incentivized not to report, and that's why.
That would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Because they're claiming all these days without accidents, yet somebody had an accident and it didn't go on the board.
Right.
Well, no, that makes total sense because they were even talking about how the other day they heard the boss yelling like, hey, this guy needs to be fired right now for some stupid reason that, and that could have probably happened to somebody in the past that got hurt and he's like, fire them for being careless kind of a thing.
Right.
Like they don't have any protection that way.
Right.
I can see that.
And another thing is it says that the employees, like when they hear the lunch bell whistle, they're just like freaking out, needing to get out of the plant, but they all look so just like drained and tired. So I wonder if they're being overworked too.
Okay.
They're not being paid for their overtime. Like it's being put off to next week. So I wonder if they're just being like overworked and not compensated, just ridiculously.
Mm-hmm. So I wonder if a possible solution could be like signing up a retraining, or even if they can't sacrifice time like from working, the company could bring in a catered lunch and have a safety reminder or something like that, and have sort of a working lunch type thing. I don't know, that might be a stupid suggestion, but I'm just trying to think of ways that they could improve it without increasing their bottom line, only because at the same time, the company kind of seems like they're cutting corners already.
Right. I mean, do they have shifts? Right. This could probably like if you have a different shifts, they don't need to work the employees as much, right? So that could be a solution as well to alleviating the fatigue and things.
Also, another way to do so, maybe another option would be, so we're looking into benefits packages that's a little bit better for the employees, but maybe another option would be in there is maybe reduced exercise facility that's maybe nearby. You can get a discount or something like that. And maybe that will alleviate some of that, tiredness, so they can go exercise without having to worry about, oh my gosh, I got a pain in the arm and a leg. I'd rather just go home and not do anything. So maybe that's an option. I think one of the companies, mutual fund companies, Putnam Investment, it's down the road from me. I think they do that. They have it in the benefit package that if you go, if you go to gym, I don't know, 25 hours and plus, you get a discount of like 75% or something like that. So you only pay a portion of it of what a regular gym costs.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would love to be there.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that could be a total solution because it's like not necessarily in it, but it's improving their life outside of it too.
Right.
And it's just like makes them want to come to work.
There you go.
I like that.
So do we have, as far as
It's 4.
safety, do we have 4
Yes.
solutions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have 5 written, so yeah, we're good on that
Oh,
one.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm writing down your names next to each suggestion so that maybe that could be the paragraph that you write, because that was your
Okay.
idea. And I'll post this on the community as well. So it's kind of like our assignments.
Okay.
Okay. And for the moment, just don't assign anything to me because I don't know if I'll be staying in your group. I just don't want to
Okay.
be like dead weight later on. And anyway, sorry about all this. Anyway,
No.
We'll hunt
So-
you down, Alex. We email every single one.
I know. I'm kind of sad. I really like you guys.
Every single one. We're like, Alex, what's going on, Alex? All right. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So we now need 4 solutions for the diversity issue.
Oh boy.
Okay. Would that go into where? What do they mean by diversity? Like racial, or I mean, they were talking about women, so it's like a gender
Like,
difference.
Hire more females rather than males.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that kind of thing, I mean, that sounds like it kind of goes against the law.
Oh yeah.
Hiring.
I was going to say, this entire
Stuff
case seems like it's
discrimination.
going against the law, not paying
Yeah.
for overtime.
They should just call the cops. That's the
not
solution to this one.
Not following OSHA regulations.
Yeah.
Just shut it
Okay.
down. Just shut
Yeah.
it all down.
Basically, it sounds like they just need to get their act together.
We'll just go to Brother Stanley and say, you know what? We found a solution. We shut the whole plan down. We're done.
Let's just write a page about that.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Right?
I think maybe one solution definitely is start obeying the law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They need to get a lawyer.
I guess here's a big question for me is were we given, not that I saw, but maybe you guys did, any parameters like what
Mhm.
are we just allowed to have solutions? Because if we just come up with solutions, well, pay your employees overtime because that's the law. Follow the affirmative action rules because that's the law.
Yeah.
Get an OSHA representative
For
in there.
real.
Yeah.
Living up to standards. I mean, because if there's no guidelines as like to increase budgets and spending, then well, great. They can do all of these things. Zip, zam, boom, we're done. Sorry, but
Good.
we'll play with your toys. I kicked him off this show because it was making it blippy, and I couldn't hear you guys, so I had to kick him off his show. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, it seems like the solutions are clear cut. They're super easy if we have no parameters to work within. And so it almost seems too easy. So I'm wondering, like, are there parameters that
Gotcha.
we need to work within? Like, we have to work within our existing budget, our, because
That makes sense.
That does
this
make
case just kind of seems too easy.
Yeah.
well, we can definitely write
Sure,
something up
that's
around that.
And I think with this case, there's probably so many problems because this is the first one.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of an overview of like everything that we're going to be talking about in the class.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm getting the feeling of, because we're going to focus in on these specific issues week to week, not just like, I mean, this is like ridden with problems, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, any problem possible, they've got it.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Basically.
Because I'm feeling like half my suggestions were way too creative for.
No, they were beautiful.
Realistically,
They were really
if they have, if the solution to the problem is just pay your employees 50% of their health care and pay for their overtime, solution. Do that instead of having to go out and find.
Whitney, it just doesn't come to a paragraph, though. I think that Brother Stanley wants you to see more than just a paragraph. I think that's what it kind of comes down to.
Okay, yeah, all right. So that's why we need the creative solutions, because we got to come up with more words.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You got
Because as we're discussing this, I'm kind of like, I'm trying to be more creative because I'm assuming there's parameters we're working in that I just
Gotcha.
missed, in the chaos of, going around me while I'm reading it. But then,
No, actually that brought up a thought, because we did our IBC business up on campus last semester, and one of the things was that we learned that no idea is a bad idea and you just throw them out. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. And I think what we're kind of getting right now, the reason we're coming up with 4 different solutions is like you said, we're supposed to be working within a budget kind of a thing. But right now we're just kind of maybe throwing those ideas out, and then we see which one would work best with the budget, which one would actually come up with the results we want.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
that that's what we're trying to get at.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
Because
I
you
that
had
makes
said-
sense what
appreciate
you're
you guys.
saying.
you had said follow the law, so that would be one of the things. OSHA, okay.
Just put that on bold, right?
The other thing that I noticed was, I think it's the last paragraph. It says the seventh day. So sexual harassment. She's among the male workers, inappropriate comments about her body, blah, blah, blah. So that should be an issue and should be addressed. I don't even know how to put in a sentence though. Like,
Well, they could have a sexual harassment seminar.
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Could be a solution.
We'll do that. I don't have to write anything on that one, right, Maddie? Put my name.
No, you don't.
Hey, that's a regular occurrence in corporate life.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking of as a solution, they should be more strict about hiring. Like they should write out if they want this person to be carrying 25 pounds of weight or something like that. They need to be specific about what they want so that the person who applies for the job knows in advance,
They can.
I need to be able to lift 25 pounds. And then if anybody comes, even if it is a guy or a girl, that person knows, hey, I can fulfill
We'll
this.
make that part of the interview.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter gender. Part of the interview, hey, can you lift this 25 pounds without getting winded? Awesome. You're hired.
For what?
Sorry, you guys are going to get so sick of me.
No, it's good. We need people that talk.
Two more suggestions.
Okay.
So the part that I'm kind of confused right now is, so there's male population in this company. We shouldn't hire female, or we should be careful on that, or
You're saying
guess-
with the United States, or are you just saying with the case?
of the case. I'm just talking about the case.
Okay.
I mean, majority of these people are male,
Right.
right? That's what I understood.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like it. They're
So
avoiding.
90% of the managers are white middle class males, to seem to be chummy towards each other. So they need some flesh blood. Can we put that
Yeah.
down as flesh blood? Can we do that? I'm gonna write my paragraph on flesh blood.
All right, I'll put your name next to that one.
Oh my god! Go ahead. I'll come up with a paragraph on fresh blood.
We need one more solution for diversity.
For diversity.
One more solution.
Bring in
Mm.
what have we got so far?
Yeah.
So
I have-
Yeah, just from that.
we got
I have
I feel like there's a lot of easier solutions
be
for
more
this.
specific in the work requirements or in the interview, and then the first
Okay.
one.
Okay.
So how does that
Um,
solve the problem of diversity, though, being more specific in the work requirements? Because
I
guess,
think it's
you know,
like,
They're
if
just, 'cause they're
still all
basically
white
looking
males
at
show
women,
up to get
that-
interviewed,
yeah.
they're looking at women as, okay, all women can't.
okay.
what if okay,
So
so
they're
what is part of the, when I say fresh blood, it will be it's a recruitment. How about a recruitment a team for recruitment, and they have a poll going or whatever that thing is
Well,
called.
they could place ads for new employees at the gym for women.
They could.
That's an option.
They better be able to lift more than 25 if they're going.
You want to talk about that one, Whitney?
Sure. I'll talk about where to
I'll write that down in the sentence.
put my name down. I can BS about that, sure.
Recruiting.
Oh, I gotta read it, Whitney. You better make sure I can email on that one.
Absolutely. I'll proof. Well, you guys are gonna have to proof all of my things to make sure they're friendly.
Oh, boy.
All right, the last thing that we need to talk about is this last thing. Let me just read this question real quick. In light of all the problems and solutions that you've identified, explain what is the most important thing to focus on. We may have already discussed that. Describe why you think this is a key issue. Describe pros, cons, obstacles, etc. This portion of the paper should include deep reflection and application of content studied in the class as it informs the problem and solution. This isn't just a single paragraph repeating what you already said about the problem and solution. Give a detailed account that explains why the issue is the highest priority. Include detailed information about how the solution will be implemented. Demonstrate your understanding of the class readings and discussion.
I think the biggest problem is the law, abiding by the law of the land, and I think the biggest cons and obstacles in solving these problems is going to be budgets and how to pay employees their overtime that's deemed necessary by law, with still living within their budget, because, and also whatever diversity and affirmative action rules there are, and having to make adjustments in their hiring process, and maybe possibly letting people go.
Yeah.
Also, like the same thing with their safety. I think the biggest thing is them breaking the law, and the financial consequences of them rectifying that, or what it's going to cost for them to now obey the law. They've gotten used to and built a budget and profit margins around the way they've currently done business incorrectly. Sorry, that was a lot of rambling, but
No, that's fine.
No, that's good.
So for me, I feel like this whole company has no team. They have clicks,
Yeah.
right? 90% of male in one section, they're all chummy together, but there is no team that says, let's work together. Let's make sure we can get this plan running the way it's supposed to. And that includes Whitney's, follow the law, make sure you follow OSHA laws and safety, compensation, benefits, and everything. But if there's no team, then none of this can be accomplished. Because you're all working for yourself rather than for the next person or for the company.
Well put.
And I'm sticking with it. So
You're going to write that paragraph.
perfect. Awesome. Love it.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things is just communication. There really isn't any going on, at least effective communication. They need to learn how to, the top talking to the bottom talking to the top, like you said, with teamwork and just not being clicks and everything like that, and just knowing what the issues are and solving them right when they happen, instead of letting them escalate to this point where everything that's going on is illegal and
wrong.
I don't know. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
That is a good point. How much is 3,500 words? How many pages is that?
You know what? I read
I
somewhere.
could check.
How many?
7 to 10.
Are you kidding me?
That's a lot.
I have no time to write 7 pages of paper.
That is why there's 5 of us.
Perfect.
Everyone make really long paragraphs.
Everybody writes 1 to 1.5 pages. We're good.
That's good.
Oh boy.
So
Lots of BS is gonna go on. Okay. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
everything that comes out of this mouth is going to be perfect and factual.
Maddie's getting so crazy with that. She's like, oh my gosh, what group did I join in here?
No, she's going to. Oh, no. I was going to say, Alex is going to make schedule adjustments so she could stay in our group.
No, I want to. I actually am thinking about it. I wouldn't be able to come in a video, but I'm wondering if there's a way I could just do it over email, like
How about you got
answering the questions on my own.
You know what?
You guys
You know
can
what
read
I'm-
it.
Because Connor couldn't be part of this meeting because he couldn't get the link. I'm just
Uh-huh.
gonna post this on the group discussion, and then whenever we have a meeting, you could just watch it.
Okay.
There you go.
And just work it that way and say that
Fine.
because I could still participate by doing that. So why don't you go ahead and give me, I'll just stick with this group. Go ahead and give me some things to write about. Let me take some notes really quick. I'm still
Alright.
on the phone.
Yeah.
I really
I've
like
written
you guys. I want
down-
to stay.
I
But
wrote
I
your
just
name
won't be
down
able to make it
except.
to the video stuff.
Oh, good, because Matt.
Okay, so which one am I
Madeline,
writing about?
Madeline or Maddie?
You can call me whatever you want, dear. People call me Maddie.
Well, okay, whichever you prefer. I was like to address you as. But so you've been writing down what we're like taking notes and writing our names down next to our assignments, right?
Like an outline.
Okay.
I've written down an outline of what we talked about, and then whatever you see your name next to, basically that means write a paragraph about what this is next
Gotcha.
to.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
And-
that's what I thought, and so I did not take my own notes.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what you said.
Yeah, when I mean paragraph, I mean you could write 3 to 5 paragraphs.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, 35 to 5,000 words to fill, so, elaborate.
yeah, because I guess the way he wants the paper structured is we have the 3 issues,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about the solution. So that's 12 paragraphs about each solution or problem.
One paragraph, yeah.
Problem solutions or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the last part of the paper is that last question that we talked about.
Okay.
So like, what is the
Gotcha.
major issue?
Okay.
So I've like written your names down next to it, but that's overload.
Give me
And-
some, because I've only got 3.
Yeah. So can I put you down here to
Yeah,
talk about?
totally.
Okay. I mean, I don't have it either, so I can put it all together, make it longer, or I can do this one. And
You can give me whatever, because I wholeheartedly believe in every solution that I put forth.
Whitney.
all right, I'm going to. Oh wait, we still have to give stuff to Connor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Connor would really love a lot of mine. I bet you anything.
This whole paper just feels like a rant now. It's just like we're gonna have fun writing this.
This is why I'm not on social media. They can't handle me.
It's exactly what it's gonna sound like.
Brother Stanley is
Oh,
gonna be like, next time I'm joining your group to see what's going on.
To keep us more
Oh
focused.
my God.
Okay. You guys are gonna love this outline that I just put together.
Nice.
bet you
I'm
it's
excited about this.
At the very end, because I was like, well, we have to write something for Connor, so I wrote a little note to Connor. Connor, what do you think is a solution? Write a half page about it.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so
Clear
I will,
direction.
do you want me to email this to your Gmail or do you want me to post it on the community?
I would rather have it
Just,
sent to my email.
To your
me
email?
too.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
easier
can
for
you
us.
email
Did you
me?
throw me on there for some of them too?
Okay, so I'll write this outline. If you have any questions about it,
Okay.
just let me know.
Yeah.
And let's create a due date now
Mhm.
so that we have that engraved. It's due at the end of week 5, is that what we said?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is
What week is it right now?
3.
We're in week 3. Yeah.
This is,
Well, why don't we get it, if we can get all of our stuff done by next meeting, then we can all edit it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Because
Is that-
editing would take a
Is that
bit.
like too intense, though?
quicker.
So next Tuesday, have it all down and email to Maddie, and then we can edit it in the group meeting.
yeah. So
Okay.
email everything to me by Tuesday and I'll put it all together in a nice
Okay.
paper and then I'll email it out to all of you Or I'll put it on a Google Doc and then we can,
Okay, so due date
That's
is
a good
gonna
idea.
be then 5/9.
okay,
Yes.
let me write it down. And it also says in the instructions that you do not have to use your own knowledge. Like you can go research, like internet
Oh,
search
okay.
what you think is best or what other teams have done. Just make sure that you keep a note of the source and then we can put the sources at the bottom. So
Okay.
whatever you feel. Due date. May 9th. I'm just gonna create a new one. Okay. Let me save this. Let me send it to you right. Oh, let me stop the broadcast because we're done.